It's your daily dose of Donna. Welcome to the show. We have a special Saturday episode. This never happens, never ever. And this is like such a big deal because Saturday, of course, like I shocked you guys 2 hours ago. I was like, get your popcorn, get your glass of wine, get whatever you want. We're going to talk Diddy on a Saturday. I mean, aren't there better things to do than talk Diddy on a Saturday? But I will tell you this, I've been knee deep in the Blake and Justin and knee deep in Karen Reed and knee deep with all the other trials and all the other things that I haven't been paying attention at all to Diddy. I haven't been paying attention to it, but there have been people, the amazing people that have been sitting in that trial every day, and they've been hearing like the nitty gritty and all of the like the dirty details, including my amazing guest, Emilie, who I'm going to introduce in just a moment. But if you are new here, make sure to subscribe and hit the like. And of course, this video will be live for the rest of time. So you will be able to watch this later if you are, if you have a life and you're out partying it up on Saturday, as many people are. A lot of people are out living their lives on Saturday, but welcome on in for those of you guys that are here. Everyone, this is your daily dose of Donna. Okay, I am super excited about this. Emilie Hagen is a journalist, an independent journalist who I've been following online for so long because she has just been exposing truth about so many different things, whether it's about different musicians. We're going to get into it. Kanye, um, she's been like behind the scenes of a lot of different things, politics, etc. And then now she is exposing what's really going on in the Diddy trial. And one of her reels went viral one of the first days when she talked about how Diddy wanted certain juices all over his nipples. I don't even know. I'm already grossed out talking about it, but she is going to share it all with us. So everyone, welcome Emilie Hagen from Emilie Knows Everything on Instagram. Emilie, welcome to the show.
What a claim to fame, seeing my nipples.
I mean, that was gross.
We learned more yesterday.
Okay, we need to, first of all, Emilie, where are you from? Like, where do you live normally?
I'm based in LA, but I'm currently in New York for the trial.
So you planned, knowing that this trial was coming, you were like, I'm moving to New York basically for this trial.
Yeah, I had been covering the Diddy files since last March when he was arrested. So I always thought I would probably come. And then 2 weeks before, I was like, I found a place to stay. It was serendipity. So I came.
It's like questionable whether or not you can get into the trial every day, or for sure you're getting in.
You can't always get into the courtroom. They only allow 14 press right now, and then it changes. It was 12 press. It was 20 press and 12 public, and now it's even less than that. Now it's like 14 press, maybe 5 public.
And how are you guaranteed a spot in there every day?
You're not. So I usually go to the overflow room because I'm not trying to spend $1,000 to look at the back of Diddy's head when I can sit in the overflow room and look at his face.
Wait, you have to spend money to be in the main room?
So they have this thing called line sitters. People are paying, like the big podcasters, like Rotten Mango. She's paying $1,000 a day to secure a spot first. So she's guaranteed the first press spot in line. So it's whoever has the most money and whoever wants it the most gets to be in the actual courtroom. I found that I learned just as much in the overflow room because in the overflow room, they have TVs where you can see Diddy from the front. But if you're in the actual courtroom, you can only see him from the back unless he turns around, which he does do sometimes.
What would be the goal of being in the real room versus the overflow? What are you getting in the real room versus?
You're a part of the vibe, and you can see the jurors, so you can see how the jurors are reacting. So I'm going to probably spend money to be in the real room like a few more times so I can do like some writing about the jurors. But so far I've been getting more than enough just in the overflow room.
So interesting. Yeah, I mean, the jurors would be interesting to see. I'm watching the Karen Reed trial daily, all 6 hours, 7 hours every day. And that's the one thing that I'm so interested. So anyone that is in the trial, whenever they're there and they're live tweeting, I'm always so curious what the jurors are doing. And to like I'm curious their ages. I'm curious who's taking notes.
Yeah.
Are they interested? Are they bored? Are they so do you know the details of the jury? Like you've seen them, right?
I've seen them. I was in the court. I got lucky. I was in the courtroom the very first day of court for opening statements. So I got to see all of them, and I felt like they looked very regular, some very dumb. That sounds terrible, but you got to think these
Wait, do
people,
they look like me? Let's be honest, like little blonde girls.
not a single one looks like you.
Stop. What do you mean dumb? Like what does that mean?
They just, if you think about it, they're going to have to be a little dumb because they can't know anybody. In order to be selected for jury, you weren't allowed to know Kanye, Diddy, Mike Myers. Like they listed off like 100 celebrities. And if you knew too many, they're like, you're out of here because you're too biased about pop culture. So these people are like people that they're not Amish, but they're not Amish. Like they are very out of touch with pop culture, which maybe they're a lot smarter than us. Who knows?
So are they New York locals? They must be
They
local
all are New York.
city.
Yeah, they have to be. Most of them, yeah, I don't know. They're just not. I always want to just stress that I think that they're a little dumb because when I'm sitting there, a lot of the people, there's a lot of public in the overflow, there's a lot of press. Everyone has different reactions to what's going on. And I feel like if we're feeling like this, the jury seems even dumber than us, then they're not understanding what a RICO is.
No.
They're just susceptible. Some of them are liking Diddy too. That was reported a few days ago.
In what sense? Like they find him charming?
Yeah, the judge threatened him yesterday that if you continue looking at the jurors in the eyes, you're getting kicked out and you're not going to be able to sit in the trial anymore because Diddy literally looks at people and like nods at them.
Okay. We have I want you to pretend I'm a jury member and I'm dumb. And the reason why is because I started paying attention to it day 1, day 2. And then I kind of fell off. And I think part of the reason is because it's not being televised. And it's so hard to follow when you're not getting the day by day. You don't have transcripts. All you can do is follow tweets. And it's really it's confusing. Like it just was I felt like every day was just another day of him just watching men, have sex with Cassie.
Yeah, that is what it is.
Is that really basically what you're finding out every day? Is like he's just a dirty, sex crazed.
It's like giving sex addiction and drug addiction.
Okay.
Every
So
day we're just hearing his kinks on display for the world. Like every day we're just hearing more stories about the night he took ecstasy and Turks and Caicos and how I wanted to like have sex for 4 days in a row. We're just hearing stories about his sex addiction, his drug addiction. There hasn't, and then the Kid Cudi, obviously, that I was there for that one. I don't know which direction you want to take, but yeah, I think the main thing we need to talk about is how
yes.
leading up to this trial, we all were expecting tunnels. We were expecting celebrity freak offs. We were expecting orgies with like the most prestigious people in Hollywood in white at these Hamptons parties on these tapes, and everyone's like, oh, but we're not having any of those moments right
So
now.
that's what I was on the phone with my friend today this morning, and I think that's a little bit also why the interest has waned for this trial is because going into it in the weeks and the months before this trial, it's like, oh, can't wait. Jay-Z,
Yeah,
Ashton, Leo DiCaprio, white party, yachts, J-Lo.
none of them. I got my J-Lo shirt on right now for the
Stop.
podcast.
Stop. Oh my God. And we're getting none of that. We're getting none of these crazy, like Jaguar right stories that we were all expecting to get.
Zero.
And the prosecution would have that if there was
You would
evidence
think.
of it.
Yeah. So like that says a lot about us as a society because we basically made this case so salacious leading up. Or is this one big psyop where there isn't any of that? Like, we'll never know the truth. I think if we never get any big reveal, then people are going to say it was a psyop.
In what sense and what would be the point?
of this trial.
or the psyop? Like, what would be the point of the whole? What
They're
would
saying
be?
it's like a distraction from like what Trump's doing. That's one of the theories online. They're like, oh, they're doing something with Russia or China, and this is just a distraction.
So
But if
everything, the
it was
whole
a
big.
distraction, it would be televised, I feel like.
Exactly. So you're saying that the raid of Diddy and this whole big drama and okay, I feel okay. Let's go
I think
backwards.
people just made it into something it wasn't. Like, he very well might have been involved with Tupac, Biggie, all of those things, but that's not what he's on trial for.
Okay. So what is Diddy on trial for? Let's
Right
start.
now, he's at like RICO and racketeering and sex trafficking. But the sex trafficking, everyone was expecting a pedophile ring.
Yes.
There hasn't been any underage girls. Right now, there's been none. The only victims we have are Cassie, Jane Doe, who the internet has doxxed. I'm not going to say who it is, but everyone knows who it is because 2 seconds after we left court, it was already
Was out there.
Yeah.
And this Jane Doe spoke on the stand.
Yes.
But
and
it's supposed to remain completely confidential. So who's leaking this stuff?
it's very obvious who it is.
Oh, okay. I didn't do any research to know.
Someone very close to her pretty much doxed her 2 seconds after court was adjourned. If you just go on Twitter, you'll see who it is.
Okay, I can look it up.
I mean, and then the other victim is a woman named Mia. That's her pseudonym. She's like another Jane Doe. She was like an assistant of Diddy that claims that he did a lot of like horrible things while she was working there. But we're not hearing about like a pedophile ring, and they've had a lot of male escorts take the stand, and all of them have been complimentary towards Diddy and Cassie. They're like, yeah, they paid me well. Like, I enjoyed having sex with Cassie. Like, I was taken care of. Like, none of them are saying they were abused.
What about these stories that I remember reading and hearing about there was a boy, a younger underage kid I remember calling out like Mary J. Blige years ago as like that he would have these relationships with Mary J. Blige and Diddy and being like flown and traveled when he was 16. And then there's the stories of course, it's just like theory about Bieber and this and this and that. All of that stuff, none of it is brought to light here.
None of it. We're not hearing any of those stories.
Where is Tony Busby in this story?
I've been wondering that. Where is Tony Busby in this story? I know a lot of his lawsuits have gotten thrown out.
Okay.
As well as Tyrone Blackburn, the other lawyer that was representing Lil Rod, Rodney Jones. He was never called to the stand, and he was the one that had a huge lawsuit last February where he accused Diddy of a lot of things. And Lil Rod and Tyrone showed up to court on the first day on a gag order, and on the stand the other day was the makeup artist or the graphic designer. And she was, like I said, the worst witness yet, because she basically admitted that she doesn't remember the night of the balcony incident where she claimed Diddy sexually assaulted her on a balcony and threw her over a balcony and like.
Yeah, I saw the headlines.
The story's changed so many times, and she admitted on the stand that her lawyer, Tyrone Blackburn, who also represents Lil Rod, that he made shit up in his demand letter to Diddy to get money out of him. He literally made up that she had a neck and head injury, and she knew that he made shit up, but let him send the demand letter anyways. She said this on the stand, which made this whole thing look like a big money grab. And then she also admitted to texting Cassie the day of her testimony and another witness. So now we see that Cassie has been colluding with 4 of the witnesses. So the defense is trying to say there's collusion amongst witnesses, and it's like a big money grab. But I just think this one girl was just a terrible witness. Like, I think it really hurt the prosecution.
And the prosecution doesn't like vet their witnesses before they bring them on the stand to be like, do you know your story?
They do. The defense keeps saying things like, do you remember telling the government on da 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 da? And they're like, she's like, I don't remember. And they're like, well, on January, blah, 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 you told the government that you were groped and that Diddy grabbed your breast. And now, is that true? And she's like, I don't remember. That's how her testimony was the other day. It was like crazy.
Okay. So
the whole courtroom was like this. We were all like, this is a joke. Like, every reporter walked out of there. ABC was in the bathroom with me. She goes, if they don't have something, it's a wrap. Same with this new Jane Doe. There must be some big reveal coming, because right now we have not seen coercion in the Jane Doe. She was a
What's the
grown.
Jane Doe's testimonial about?
So she was a 34-year-old woman, a single mom who had a baby daddy who hates Diddy. That's how people figured out who she was. So she met Diddy in a trip in Miami. Her friend was dating Diddy. They were on a yacht. They saw each other at the bathroom. He was like, oh, you're like, he complimented her. He's like, let's have nicknames for each other. So they called each other Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street. That was like how she started her testimony. And she's like, yeah, well, my friend was dating him, so I didn't but I gave him my number anyways. And then I flew back to the East Coast, and then he texted me, but I didn't want my friend to get hurt. But then she was dating someone else and got married. So then I flew to Miami and we became boyfriend and girlfriend, and he would take me to Turks and Caicos and we would do Molly. And then the prosecution was like, have you ever taken Molly before? And she was like, only 2 times on New Year's Eve. And she's like, they're like, how many times have you taken Molly during the 9-day trip to Turks and Caicos? And she was like, 10 times. So they're like, so you were high the whole trip? And she's like, yeah. And they're like, who decided how many Mollies that you took on the trip? And she would say, Sean. And then they were like, and then that was basically her saying, she was like, I loved him so much. The sex was amazing. He was so charming. She's like, he was so charismatic. He brought up the passion in me. I literally loved him. She's like, he told me he didn't want monogamy. He told me he was dating other people, but he's the only person I wanted to sleep with. I fell madly in love with him. So then their relationship continued. And then there was a time when they started watching porn together, and he liked watching her react to another guy on the screen. And he'd be like, oh baby, you like that? You like that? And then it's so crazy. It's what people do. I feel like a lot of couples watch porn together.
Okay.
Right. But then
Yeah.
he's like, I can make this fantasy a reality. And then she's like,
who's saying this? That she's saying this?
She is.
This is so uncomfortable to watch.
Diddy's just sitting there like this.
I mean, this is nothing compared to other testimony. This is nothing.
And so then she's like that later. And then the defense was like, when Diddy said that he can make this testimony, this fantasy a reality, did you think it was going to be that night? And she's like, no, I didn't. So then they're like, she's like, then what happened? She's like, well, then all of a sudden there was this guy that came in, and Diddy said he's the best guy, he's the guy. And I guess he was a male escort from this site called Cowboys and Angels. And she's like, and this is when he wanted to have a debauch. He called it this, it's freak off, but they called it debauchery. So he had her in a robe and 7-inch high heels. And she was sitting on the couch, and she said her hands were crossed and her legs were crossed. And Diddy was like, just calm down, relax. It's going to be fun. You're going to love it. And she's like, I'll do anything for you. I just want to make you happy, but I'm nervous. And he's like, don't be nervous. And the escort was like, don't be nervous. And then she got up, and she said to ease her nerves, she started dancing and swaying from side to side. And then they just started her and the escort just started playing with each other. And then they started having sex, and Diddy was masturbating in the corner. And the defense.
I'm really glad this is a Saturday show. So everyone, I hope you're drinking a cocktail, because this could be a prelude to your Saturday night sex.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to say here. Is that
I feel we're listening to porn.
That's what I'm trying to say. I'm this trial is just making me want to have sex.
It's getting us all horny.
It really is. I literally just made a video like that, and all of TikTok agreed with me. They're like, I am getting freakier hearing this.
Everyone's like, and?
Because so far in this story, there hasn't been any force.
Okay, with this woman.
With this particular,
This sounds kind of romantic.
Yet. Obviously they must have something, because right now it's just okay. And then the defense is like, so did you know that was gonna be not the last time? And she's like, I thought it was just a one-time thing. And then they go, how did that make you feel? And she said, exhilarated, exciting. It was a taboo, fun thing. She goes, but I didn't think it would ever happen again. And then it turns out that's all Diddy ever wanted her to do. So that became their relationship, where she said 90% of the time was her going to these hotels and performing these freak offs. And she rarely had alone time with him ever again. So, yeah, at one point she also said she wanted an allowance because she lived out of state and he required her to want to have these freak offs all the time. So she needed money because she wasn't really working as much. She said the relationship was so consuming. So she asked Diddy for $15,000 and he only gave her 10. I was like, that cheap bastard. Because he was paying those escorts 2 to 5K a night. This girl's only making 10K a month. I'm like, that's a bad deal.
And he's and she's sleeping with how many per time?
I think she actually hasn't defined that yet, but sometimes one. I know Cassie.
And he's never sleeping with these women. He's just watching other people sleep with them.
Then after she's done sleeping with the escort, then the girl and Diddy go in the next room. Because the escort and the girl, Cassie or the Jane Doe, would have sex in the living room area of the hotel. He would get, what is that candle, DPK? How do you say it?
Oh, diptyque.
Diptyque. He'd get diptyque candles, put them on the table.
It's specifically diptyque.
Yes. Yeah. And yeah. So their sales are either going to go up or down.
I don't know. I don't know if I would ever buy one now.
I should post about that.
It's you really should like and tag them. Like, is there a very specific diptyque scent? Because I know they have multiple scents.
I don't know what scent. They haven't defined the scent. They just said it would always be diptyque candles. She's saying 25 dozen bottles of baby oil.
How many?
2 dozen, sorry. 25 bottles.
2 dozen bottles of baby oil and diptyque candles.
And then red lights. He liked it to look red. And it's funny because he performed in red outfits a lot during his career. Like, he always had red on.
I have red on.
That's more of like a coral red.
This was like into like devil red?
Yeah, more of like a devil's lair red.
Okay, so that was like it would always look red, and then
he'd want the red lights, and then the assistants. So this is where they're trying to build the RICO. Cassie and the Jane Doe said that people that worked for him would get the room ready for the freak off. So part of the assistant job at Bad Boy or at Combs Enterprises would be to go to Rite Aid or Dwayne Reed or wherever and buy the baby oil and the Astroglide, and their job would to bring it and the candles and to set the room up and then call the front desk to get extra linens and towels because there was so much baby oil that they didn't want to. This is just crazy, right?
Okay, well, now I know why Rite Aid's going out of business because Diddy went to jail. Literally. Diddy went to jail and now they don't have any more business.
I'm so sad about Rite Aid.
He was like spending all of their money. He was like giving them all their business. So
it's a lot of, because we're going to do like a video about how much baby oil is 25 bottles of baby oil. And we had to go to 3 pharmacies the other day. And my friend's arm was like almost going to fall off. And we were like, wow, this assistant's job was really hard.
It's very heavy.
Yeah, that's a lot of baby oil. So
why so much?
He said, everyone said he would be like, keep glistening, keep shining. We want you shiny.
Think about the mess that would leave in a hotel room.
That's why they would always have the towels and the linens. That's the job of the assistant, to make sure that they were never directly on a couch so that they weren't damaging anything.
Wait, so they would buy linens and bring in linens? Or
they would just request linens from the front desk of the hotel.
It's still a mess. Like, it's a lot of extra laundry. I mean,
Diddy was paying a lot of money for these hotels.
Yeah.
And then after she would have sex with the escort, then she would go into the room and take his cum and rub it on Diddy's
okay, wait, hold on. I just got a little. Okay, hold on. After she would have sex with the escort, she would go back. Oh, say it again.
Diddy would be in the room after the escort came on her, maybe on her chest or wherever. She'd keep the cum on her and then go over.
She'd have to walk like
like that.
Walk like an Egyptian.
And then Diddy'd be in the next room, and then he would like her to rub the semen on his nipples.
I literally want to die. This is literally.
Why do you think I hate my life right now? This is what I have to listen to every day.
What man would ever choose this life? Like, I don't get that.
He was on a lot of drugs. He was on ketamine, ecstasy, Molly, and cocaine and weed. They were constantly on drugs. Sometimes these freak-offs with Cassie would go 4 days. This is drug addiction. Sex
So, but
addiction.
what about that is sexy?
When you're on drugs, you want to do weird shit.
Yeah.
Like one time I did cocaine and thought I was gay.
You?
Yeah. I was like, am I gay? Oh, no, never mind. The 15 minutes of coke is up. I'm good. Like I'm telling you, drugs make people
That's
do.
not that weird. I've heard weirder things than thinking you're gay.
But I'm just saying that, what if I kept doing it? Who knows how weird it would have gotten? Like
That's
these people are
true.
on drugs all the time.
Oh my God.
And these are the horniest drugs.
Oh my God. Okay. So, but it's just, so a lot of people in the comments, I don't know if you can see the comments,
I
by the way, because
can't.
you're on your phone.
Thankfully, I can't.
Okay. But a lot of people are thinking like, this must be a sign of his sexuality. If you want another man's, come on your chest.
Well, yeah, because in Black culture, like being gay is very taboo. So a lot of men don't come
You're
out of the
hiding
closet.
that.
Yeah.
But when you're severely under the influence, you don't it's balls to the wall, basically. Like you're just like, you have no inhibition.
Right
Or
now,
you
we
lose your
haven't heard.
inhibition.
We haven't heard about like prior to this case. Like we thought Diddy, we were gonna see like videos of him having sex with Meek Mill, LeBron,
Totally.
but we haven't heard of any Diddy sex with guys yet. It's all been the only gay thing so far has been the semen.
And like, wouldn't he bring in these escorts and say, like, let me at them?
He's not wanting to hit that. He's just liking to be a cock. He's a cock.
Yeah, exactly. If he was actually gay, I feel like he would go for it.
Maybe there's 2 or 3 weeks left of the trial.
They're saving the gay for the end?
I don't, they're saving something because right now we're waiting to find out. Okay, let me get your take on this.
Yeah.
So this Jane Doe says, so she got this allowance of $10K a month. And then she was like, one day I found out about OnlyFans. My friend was making $4 million a year. And I told Sean about it. And he was disappointed and like didn't want me to do it. And I was just like annoyed because I knew if I did it, I would make so much money. But instead she chose the $10K a month freak off salary because she loved him so much. And then they were like, well, how much was your apartment? And she was like $10,000. And the prosecution was like, so why did you spend your entire money on your apartment? She's like, well, because I wanted a nice home to feel good about myself when I wasn't with him. And mind you, she was also getting child support from a famous person that hates Diddy.
Yeah,
So,
I put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, so she had other money, I guess. But where was I going with this? It was something about
The apartment.
Oh, they made a point to be like, Diddy, one time she told him, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to keep having freak offs. I'm sick of it. I just want to have sex with you. I'm sick of having sex with these male escorts. Like, and he was like, that's fine. I'll just, do you want me to stop paying your rent? How many months do you need? Because I'm not going to pay for someone that I'm not like dating. So do you need 3 months? And then she was like, well, I'm not breaking up with you. I'm just telling you I don't want to do freak offs. And he's like, well, that's the only thing I want. So if you don't want to do freak offs, I don't want to be with you. So then they're trying to say that's coercion. But then you could argue like a lot of guys would dump you if you're not into their kinks. It's a really twisted case. I don't even like to analyze it, but it's like, I go in the bathroom and there's an NBC and ABC reporter in there, and we all look at each other like, what is this? And the one girl
It
doesn't
seem.
goes there. She goes there. Listen, last thing. She goes, there must be something like they have a text of a Diddy saying like, if you don't have these freak offs, motherfucker, I'm gonna kill you. Otherwise, this is consensual.
Exactly.
At least this case, Cassie, it's a different story because she was signed by Diddy. He was in charge of her career. Like the age difference, he groomed her. But this woman was 30 in her 30s. She was a mother. She was flying commercial. She was getting on a plane to fly to see Diddy. He would buy her flight. He would pay a commercial to go to these freak offs. Commercial, not even a private jet. So this Jane Doe, they're saying is the best witness yet, but we haven't heard any of that evidence yet. So this week, preppy now. I got my new lipstick. I'm ready to go because I'm hoping this week we're going to find out something more than just like a girl saying that like she loves him. I don't know. Like you haven't heard any crime in this story yet, right?
No. I mean, and hold on one second, Emily, because your mic is doing something a little like fuzzy. So you got to move your, I don't know what's
Oh,
going
that's
on.
actually on yours too.
You're hearing a fuzziness?
Mm-hmm. It's like
Who is it coming from?
Diddy.
Wait, why are we both hearing it? Because I'm hearing it every time you speak. Hopefully it goes away. Are you guys hearing it in the comments? Let me know.
It's not that bad.
Okay, hopefully it's not bad. I think it's better now. Okay, so what someone said Blake Lively.
What do the comments think? Do they think this is a crime? I'm curious to know other people's
Yeah, what do you
perspective.
guys think? Do you guys think that this is a crime? And do you guys think I mean every single person that's on the stand feels how many actual different victims are there? Like how many specific is this just one big crime and every single person?
Cassie, Mia, the assistant, and this Jane Doe, and then Bana, Kid Cudi. You could argue because they think Diddy blew up his car, and then Deontay Nash, Cassie's best friend. But Cassie's friends with Bana, Deontay Nash, and Mia. And Cassie's mom took the stand. So there's 5 people Cassie talks to in the case. It's really all about Cassie.
What about Diddy? Someone's saying Diddy kidnapped the assistant to go to Kid Cudi's house. What's that all about?
That's another weird one. So Capricorn Clark was Diddy's assistant. She's more
Yes.
she was more than an assistant. She was like his right hand. She was a creative. She really was a big deal, a bad boy. She said that Diddy found out that Cassie was 2-timing him and seeing Kid Cudi. So he showed up to her house and said, he had a gun, she said, but it wasn't pointing at her. It was just like in his hand, waving it around, but it wasn't, he never like did that. And he said, get in my car. And then she got in the car, and then Diddy and his security guard went into Kid Cudi's house. They allegedly fumbled with like the security cams, and then Capricorn Clark called Cassie and Kid Cudi and said, Diddy's in your house. I'm so scared. And then Kid Cudi left the hotel he was at with Cassie to come like confront Diddy. So that's the kidnapping.
So I think the worst and probably why they brought her first is Cassie, and also because she was having a baby 2 seconds later.
Yeah.
But I think that was the worst part. Cassie, obviously, there was physical violence, domestic violence. We saw it, right? He was abusive.
Oh,
He was aggressive. That was the worst. Kid Cudi also very threatening and kind of violent, aggressive.
Yeah, but the problem is they can't tie Diddy back to the crimes because the DNA was a female's on the car. There's no surveillance evidence.
So can you go through the car stuff with Kid Cudi pretty fast and kind of explain?
After this incident, there was a day that Kid Cudi wasn't there and his dog sitter called and said, yo, someone just blew up your Porsche, but it really wasn't blown up. Like if you see the pictures, it's just, someone threw a Molotov cocktail in his Porsche and it damaged it, totaled the car. But when the LAPD ran the DNA, it ended up being a female's. And then the next day, Kid Cudi said, this is getting out of hand. I'm going to just meet up with Diddy and talk to him. So they went to the Soho house, and Diddy was, he said, standing, looking out windows like this, with his hands behind his back, looking like a Marvel supervillain. And Diddy claimed he didn't do it. He's like, he said, what are we gonna do about my car? And Diddy said, I don't know what you're talking about. And then they never figured out who did it. Diddy denied it. Obviously, people think it's Diddy. All signs lead back to Diddy, but they can't, there's no evidence that proves it. That's the problem.
So one of the comments says they're proving here. Mystery Singer says they're proving StreamYard is having issues probably because everything's delayed. They're proving sex trafficking, drugs trafficking, kidnapping, blowing up a car, RICO. How are they proving RICO?
They're trying to prove the RICO. They're proving by the bribery at the Intercontinental Hotel, because they just brought in a guy that said that Diddy gave him $100,000 to make sure that that video of him assaulting Cassie would never be seen ever again. So that video, he had them give him one copy of that, erase it from their storage or whatever, and then made them sign NDAs that if they ever told anybody about what happened in that hallway, that they'd have to pay Diddy $1 million. So that, and then he intimidated them. So that's a crime.
Do you feel, are you a little bit on Diddy's side right now?
No, I'm not on his side, but I feel like the prosecution's not doing a great job.
Okay, so let me ask you that. The prosecution with not
My
knowing
problem with Diddy, though, it's like, I know people that are just as bad as him still doing these same crimes. So, yeah, people are like, well, but it's like, okay, so then if he gets off, they're going to keep doing it. If he gets arrested, they're probably going to keep doing it. There's so many rappers that do drugs, that do give girls drugs, that traffic girls, that fly hookers across state lines, fly hookers globally, that they have orgies. Like, it's literally so common in the music industry. So obviously, I think that, I don't know if they're all beating the shit out of women though.
No, I think that he's a horrible human being. Like, I
Yeah.
don't think that Diddy in any way should be
He's like
looked at as like,
he's a monster for sure.
for sure.
Yeah.
The question is, at the end of the day, what the jury is going to be presented with are these crimes on a piece of paper,
Yeah.
and they're going to have to sit there and deliberate, right?
And
So
if
what
they're
are
dumb like me, they might think there's not that many crimes. There's so much nuance because he's not on trial for domestic violence. Because of the statute of limitations, they couldn't get him on that.
so he's on trial specifically for sex trafficking.
Yeah,
Has he done?
racketeering.
Is there any proof of sex trafficking so far? In the comments, someone said there is. So what would be the proof of that?
I think the sex trafficking could be even when Cassie was leaving the hotel room after the freak off and he beat her up and dragged her back in, forcing her to do it again. Right? Also, I think flying hookers and sex workers across state lines is technically considered sex trafficking.
I think so too.
That's the definition. People think it's like a pedophile ring, but technically the definition of sex trafficking is flying a hooker across
Over
state
state
lines,
lines.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that works. And then RICO. What is the definition of?
There's a bunch of RICO. It's like bribery, extortion. There's a bunch of different arson. There's a lot of different ways you can prove the RICO. You just need to have two to make it prove it.
Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act.
They're trying to show that Sean Combs had people at his enterprise helping him carry out these crimes. That's how you prove that.
Well, he definitely did.
He did, because he would have his security guards take the girl Cassie's phone away. He was like threatening people. Like, he was just behaving terribly. Like, he was chasing the celebrity stylist down the street with the car. Like, this was an interesting point that I forgot. The stylist said how he always had $1,000 cash in his bag because he never knew if it was going to be a night where Diddy was like scary. So he never wanted Diddy to know where he was because he was friends with Cassie. And if Diddy got mad at them, he would like drive around town in his big like black Escalade with like these other black SUVs. And they would like chase them around and like intimidate and threaten them. So this gay guy, Deontay Nash, would be scared and he would like check into hotels sometimes because he didn't want Diddy to like come find him or threaten him.
Yeah.
That's also terrible.
Terrible. And then also this woman that worked for him. So he has this woman that has worked for him for years and years and years. Christina, whatever her name is. Yeah.
Yeah. Crocom. KK, they called her. They keep referring to her as KK.
Yeah. I mean, she sounds like a crazy, like accomplice.
She's like his Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yes. And like to me, when I look at RICO and one of them is, you know, having these people that kind of work under you, like we were just saying, I mean, it feels like this is exactly kind of who he is.
Well, something's going on with Christina because
where is she?
Well, a few weeks ago, there was rumors that she was hiding out, that they couldn't find her to subpoena her to get on that stand. And now the last couple days, they've been referring to her as a co-conspirator and an agent. So there's new rumors that the government might have made a deal with her and she might be taking that stand.
Against him.
She's going to have to, or she's going down with him.
I mean, 100% she's going to take the fall if he doesn't.
She'll take the fall, or she'll get immunity and have to testify against him. And then they'll really prove the RICO. Someone said do not bet against the government.
If I were her, I would definitely go against him. So Denise is saying, I'm getting frustrated that the conversation is missing all the RICO charades to date, maybe charges to date. But this is why I'm also afraid the jury is going to miss it if you don't understand it. So Denise, let us know right now in the comments and give us the RICO charges to date.
I think I already said a lot of the RICO. It's the bribery and the extortion. It's literally saying, if you give me the video, here's $100,000. That's part of the RICO.
Yeah.
The car bombing is RICO if they can prove it. They can't because of the DNA.
Yeah. Do you think that the prosecution is...
And people like Denise, it's like, I don't care if she's annoyed with me because let's be honest, the jury's more retarded than me. So sorry. That's why it's good that I'm there, because this is the reality. You want people that are normal like me there that don't have a law background, because then this is like the vibe of the jury. That's how I feel. It's good that there's like people like me there. I mean, there's people in there that are worse than me. They think Diddy should go free.
Well, I was just about to say, there's a lot
of free Diddy jurors. There's people that love Diddy on the jury. There's like 2 right now.
You think so?
Oh yeah. They like laugh and smile at him. Mm-hmm.
Well, so then this is actually really interesting, because we forget that when we're watching these trials and we're breaking them down with law tubers all day, right? And I'm not doing it with Diddy, but I'm doing it with Karen Reed.
Not everybody's a law tuber. That's the reality. And that's what the jury's not.
Exactly. We're seeing it from a lawyer space. Like if you're watching Ashley Bamfield or all of these people every day. So you're getting like the exact things. But if you're just sitting in the jury and you're not allowed to Google at night and you're not allowed to go on TikTok and read all the things, and all you're doing is hearing what all these people are saying in the court,
you're not going to know.
You don't have the lawyer background. So it's very possible that you're going home at night and you're like, but Diddy seems kind of nice.
Yeah, I'm saying that's how they're like going off of vibes.
So Diddy, there's a reason that Diddy got as far as he did in his life. He's got to have some weird, charming vibe.
He does.
Are you charmed by Diddy, Emily?
I never liked Diddy. He was never my favorite ever. I never cared for him. I don't think he's hot. I think he's not attractive. He's
a horrendous dancer. I dance.
Terrible dancer.
He also has the worst rhythm ever, because I used to do this kickboxing class with Michael Blanks. He's Billy Blanks' brother, which is a creator of Taibo. And I've told the story before. And one time we were in the class and he came in the middle of the class, I used to do it with Michael, with Magic Johnson and like all these celebrities. The head choreographer from Making the Band, remember Diddy's show, Making the Band?
Yeah.
Where they ended up creating that, what was that? The band with the girl that ended up not going on the witness stand, but said she would, Danity Kane girl.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's a whole other story.
Like that. A lot of people talked a lot of shit and then they're not getting called up for some reason.
She didn't want to, she said.
Yeah. Okay, Aubrey, you talked the whole entire time.
Do you think that she didn't get called up, by the way?
I don't know. Did she decide it herself?
She said that she's choosing not to go on the stand. Do you think
that makes no sense, because she touched down in New York and put an emoji with the justice scales and everyone thought she was going to go. And then I don't know what happened.
I know. That was so weird. But anyway, he came into the middle of the class and it was like basically kickboxing, just on the beat. That's it, like this.
And he couldn't do it? Yeah, that's exactly how he is.
And he had BO.
Ew.
Okay, so Denise responded. She goes, the most recent Jane Doe admitted that Diddy ordered her to do illegal drug trafficking. That's RICO.
So I didn't go to yesterday afternoon, so I didn't hear that.
Okay. So there you go. So
I'm going to look at the transcripts tonight and I will talk to you, Denise Diamond, and I will confirm it to give you $1 on Venmo.
Yeah, we're going to find out about that. But so
if that's true, then I need to invest. I mean, tonight, so me and Donna just like quickly did this. Tonight, I'm going to be deep diving all the transcripts that I missed yesterday, because I was up all night the night before transcribing Thursday. So tonight I'm going to look through all the transcripts from I do have the transcripts. So I'm looking through everything. So I will be able to verify that, and it'll be in my report. And if that's true, that's going to be pretty crazy.
So to order someone to do illegal drug trafficking, that just means like flying with drugs? Drug trafficking?
Like I said, I'd have to see what it says in the I don't know what drug. You're not. Yeah, you can't be flying with drugs. If Diddy had her do that, that's drug trafficking.
The kidnapping, he had guns and forced her to come with him, saying he was going to end someone. She didn't want to go and had to. So this is probably what this Jane Doe was coming with.
The kidnapping was Capricorn Clark, and I already said that he had a gun.
Yeah.
I didn't deny the kidnapping. I might have just not said it in a way that I was like, it's not your typical kidnapping where they like, you picture them like
and like throw them in a bag and
no, it was more like get in the fucking car. And he had a gun, like get in the fucking car. It is like a kidnapping. It's just not what people expected it to be. People were expecting this to be like way more outrageous and mystical, I feel like.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. It was that we as a whole, Hollywood or the world, expected that this was going to be so scandalous that it's just not coming up to.
No, it's like lame. Like Diddy's just like a lame cuck that likes drugs and was like annoying.
And did a few really bad things.
And it's like it's like gangster shit too.
Yeah. Yeah. And so he definitely has like a few bad moves and a few really, really shitty things about him. But in the world of like rap and music and bad actors in this space and just in crime, everything that we're hearing is not the worst thing that we've heard. Like we're talking about murderers on trial. Like nothing that we're hearing here is
and people think he's a murderer, but there's no evidence that he killed Biggie or Tupac. But but people think that.
I mean, I was thinking that he was literally. What about all these men that said that he was raping them?
I don't know where they are because there's so many men that filed lawsuits. I'm confused why the government hasn't brought any of those guys in. I'm very confused. There was a bunch of men that claimed that he raped them.
Literally for months, Tony Busby was coming out with a new man every week.
I'm saying. Where is Tony? Like, has Tony? That's what you were saying. You said, "Where's Tony?" I want to know. He's been very quiet. Very quiet.
I thought he was leading one of the prosecutors.
They say that he's representing some people still, but like he hasn't been mentioned.
Has he not been brought up at all?
Nope.
Okay, so the one thing when I said where is Tony Busby, I don't know if this is real, but on Houston Public Media random website, it says Houston attorney Tony Busby withdraws from Diddy lawsuit in New York.
What?
March 18th, 2025.
But
this is the most.
That is one of. I think that was the Jay-Z one.
You have to see. This is the most random ass website ever.
I think this was when the Jay-Z one happened.
Busby is not admitted to practice law in the federal court where the case was filed.
I think, yeah, I remember he withdrew from the Jay-Z one. That one got tossed out. This one might be a different one, or is it the same one?
No, this is it. It says in a statement to Houston Public Media, Busby said his colleagues would take over the case. So I think he had to jump out of it.
But he had so many clients that were suing.
Yeah, like so did just none of them, did they just kind of all fall apart?
I don't know. Like I said, the one girl, she said that Tyrone Blackburn, she fired him. And I don't know who's representing her currently. She didn't say her new lawyer.
Susan said, Donna, there are reports one girl was testifying, grape. Is that true? Has anyone testified that they were,
Yeah, Mia.
And who's Mia?
Mia is the assistant. And she testified that I wasn't there that day. I was at a wedding. That was the one day like last week that I missed. And my friend said it was like needles on a chalk. It was it was probably the worst. It was like the hardest to hear. She claims that he, I think, forced her to give him oral sex. And then there was 2 other occasions where she doesn't remember. And then,
Diddy's 40th birthday.
yeah, and then the defense just when they did the cross examination, they like ripped her to shreds, and that's why nobody wants. They're saying that like this trial is going to make it hard for sex victims to come forward because of like how insane the lawyers have been to the.
So has his defense been amazing in cross-examination, like
Oh
just
yeah,
really tearing down the
yeah. They're
victim?
like, oh, you don't remember that? Oh, blah blah blah. Like they make the victims all look like liars. That's how good the defense is. So they're.
Is the head defense attorney the woman?
I would say Brian Steele's like the strongest. That's why he's getting the most hate because he's like being so nasty to these women. That's his job. And then the new woman that came on,
Tenny?
not Tenny. Tenny just read the opening statements. Tenny's like Diddy's right hand girl. Like they're always giggling and laughing together. Tenny's been Team Diddy for a while. Tenny did a TikTok like right when he got his first lawsuit back after Cassie. She like did a TikTok defending Diddy.
Weird.
They're like this. They like seem like good. And she like has the long nails. And my friend yesterday was like, Tenny, are your nails white for Diddy? And she goes, they're not white.
Oh. Maybe she kind of grew up knowing him because of Mark Aragos. Like they might just like have gone to Laker games together and stuff.
Possibly. I don't know. I just know that this other girl is really, really strong. I forget her name. Like I said, I'm going to be doing my report tonight. If you would have done this interview with me tomorrow, I would have been way more on my game.
It's all good. So do you think J-Lo has any
Well,
like
J-Lo was before
any of this?
the Cassie. Like this all starts in like 2008.
Huh.
J-Lo was before.
But J-Lo, listen.
But there's
Diddy
some weird stories with J-Lo. Like I did a whole story on J-Lo and Diddy. I did a whole deep dive. And J-Lo, there was two girls that claimed that Diddy invited them up to his hotel room. I think it was in Japan, somewhere over there, to have sex. And then he put on music videos of J-Lo and like was making them watch. Like he's been doing weird sex thing for a while.
That's what I was just about to say. This didn't just start in 2008.
No,
this guy has been this guy.
Just this case. Like
Exactly.
that's why we're not hearing about Justin Bieber because like that was before, like when he was with Usher at that camp, that was before the Cassie relationship.
And so Justin Bieber, Diddy has been a sick fuck, I think, from as long as he could get away with it. From the second he got like a little bit of power, a little bit of control. And that's why I think like, the Jay-Z years and all of that, those were when he was like besties with Jay-Z, before Jay-Z got with Beyonce. Those were those years that they were all just these bad boys together. I'm convinced.
Yeah, and that's why we're not hearing about Jay-Z because I think like Jay-Z and Beyonce ended up like going on and having a family and they like they're not partying like that, So
And the white party
never
years,
stopped.
the white party years, those big white party years were kind of before Cassie too, no?
I'd have to look it up, but they were a long time ago.
Yeah, they were in like the early 2000s or something.
Mm-hmm.
It was like
I think it's interesting that like I totally forgot about the grape because that kind of makes me wonder, is the jury forgetting? Because like we're hearing so much every day that like you forget what happened last week.
But they're taking notes, and when they deliberate, they're gonna have to go through everything again.
Yeah.
I've never been on a jury that's deliberated, so I have no idea how the process looks like.
I just feel like there's a lot of men on that jury that are going to be like, he didn't do it.
How many men, how many women?
There's more men than women. I believe there's 4
That's
more
not
men.
good.
I believe there's 4 more men than women.
Are most of them under 40?
And the only white woman is like 60, looks over 60.
There's only one white woman,
Mm-hmm.
and she's over 60?
Hopefully I'm not like age shaming, but
She's 36.
She looks like
She's
older.
She's not using enough baby oil on her face.
She's got gray hair.
And the rest are all black or what?
Spanish, black. Yeah, maybe
Asian.
I don't remember if there was an Asian.
And mostly men.
That's why I need to get back. I want to get back into the courtroom this week so I can
see them again.
I want to like write a whole profile on the jury for everybody.
Watch like when you come back in the next time, they're all in like Puff Daddy shirts, like Free Puff. They've all like become huge fans.
Also, like Puff's like godbrother asked for my phone number yesterday, and I was like,
who?
like Puff's godbrother that's like walking with the family every
He
day
like
was
wants
like,
to hook up with you?
I think he wants to give me a free Puff shirt.
He wants to give you something.
I don't know. He's nice. I did an interview with him, and I think he's a nice guy, the godbrother. He told me, I did an interview with him, and he told me, but then yesterday, this homeless lady, the one that got kicked out of court,
Okay, wait, tell us about this. I heard about this.
she started like yelling something about like injustice or something, and they wanted her to take her hat off, and she said no. So she started yelling and was like, yeah, you go. She has such a recognizable voice. She's funny. She works at the MTA.
How did she get into court?
I actually don't think she's homeless. Sorry. She works at the MTA. Anyone can go into court, but she stays overnight. So she gets the good spot. Like she'll sleep outside and get in. That's how you can get in. You either pay for a line sitter or you sleep there. You sleep on the concrete.
So maybe she is homeless and she just decided
She has
to sleep
different
there.
outfits. She has different outfits every day. So she started screaming to the point where Diddy turned and was like she shocked Diddy because she goes, "What, are you gonna get your gun out?" And Diddy was like, "Whoa." And then I saw her later, and like the godbrother came out and saw her and gave her a hug, and I recorded the moment, and he told her, all right, keep yourself out of trouble. We appreciate you. Just keep yourself out of trouble. And then he walked away, and then the next day she goes, Emilie, he's looking, Charlucci's looking for you. He wants your phone number. And I was like, does Diddy want to kill me? Pay me off to say nice things about him? Or does he just want to give me a free Puff shirt?
Oh my God. Are you a little bit nervous covering this case?
A little bit, yeah. That's why I try not to be like the people in the comments are probably like, why do you like Diddy? Well, I'm scared to say anything bad because I'm with the family like every day. They're like clocking me.
See, that's why maybe I'm thinking
That's why
like,
people on the internet that aren't here are like talking way more shit about Diddy because they're not like having to see these people every day.
that's what I'm saying. Like these people are scary.
I've already had people after me. I've had the mafia after me last year. So I'm not trying to I'm trying to be as unbiased and surface level as possible in my coverage because it's scary out there.
You had the mafia after you last year?
Yeah, I'm in an
Because of-
FBI. I'm in an FBI indictment. I've already went to great lengths to expose truths online that I'm kind of keeping it surface with this trial and focusing on the chaos of the people outside the court and like the funny moments because I can't put my family through that again.
And you can't really go into detail, but can we kind of assume why you were already in this?
Yeah, because I exposed Kanye's handler that was giving him the nitrous.
Okay.
So I was silenced. So I'm careful now, and I try not to I'm not gonna be like "fuck you, Diddy" because there's Diddy's mom looking right at me.
No, I'm with you 100%, and it's not worth it.
I already exposed the paid protesters. I felt like that was going to set Diddy off. I already went viral for that. I figured out who was paying them was Diddy's children.
That's who pays the free Puff people?
Yeah. I was in a Hollywood Reporter. I was in all these Wall Street Journal. I was everywhere. And Diddy, they know that it was me. So once I exposed that, I said, I'm going to let other people talk about the grape and all that because they're looking at me too much now. So I'm just chilling.
Well, you have a huge audience and you also are an admin of, well, it says
Kanye's
admin, but you're the creator of another Instagram account called Kanye's Posts.
Yeah.
And why did you start that?
I started that because Kanye was posting hilarious stuff about Pete Davidson during his breakup with Kim. And I thought it was a PR stunt for the Kardashians. And
this was how many years ago now?
2022.
This is before he went freaking ballistic.
Yeah, this is it was when he was going through the divorce. So I literally thought him and Kim were in on it together to just sell Balenciaga Gap merch and to promote her show. Little did I know, these were real thoughts.
And then obviously
things got dark.
Yeah, 2023 is when he really, or was that 24? 23.
After that same year, he started the fallout with Adidas, and then September 2022 is when he went after, he did the DEF CON to the Jews tweet, and that's when he lost all the business. And then from Alex Jones 2022, December 2022 is when he said there's a lot of good things about Hitler. Yeah. And then 2 weeks later, he met Bianca, and then he went off the radar, and we didn't hear from him for 6 months. And then all the sex stuff started her. That's all. It's like, okay, Bianca's walking around like a prostitute. So,
Dude,
and Kanye's supporting Diddy. Kanye says he hits
right now?
Kanye tweeted he hits women. He said everyone hits women. Why is Diddy taking the fall for all of us? Kanye was like saying he's the same.
Kanye and Diddy are very close because I remember they had that jail call.
Yeah, they're close. And once he talked to Diddy on the phone, Kanye was like, Cassie's the one that was orchestrating all the orgies. Cassie's the one that was orchestrating the orgies. And then the trial started, and that's what the defense said. So obviously Diddy told Kanye that.
Wow.
Because Kanye said exactly what was in the opening statements with the defense.
Wow.
And then Kanye put North on that track with Diddy, and then Kim got mad and threatened to take the kids away.
Yes. So you're still covering Kanye.
My boyfriend is handling the admin right now while I'm at Diddy. I cannot capture his post while I'm at court.
It's too much.
Yeah, I'm not even logged into the account right now. It's been a nice break.
And when you say you expose his handler.
Well, I exposed that he was addicted to nitrous before anyone else, and Kanye got mad, and so did the dentist.
How did you know that?
Because I had people on the inside telling me everything. And I was trying to save him because I liked Kanye at the time. I wanted him to not die. Everyone was telling me he was going to die. That he was
What year was that?
Last summer, 2024. Now Kanye said it himself. He has a song called Nitrous.
I mean, I saw the article just came out kind of recently.
Now Kanye's suing the dentist.
You found out that he was addicted to nitrous before it came out publicly through an insider?
Yes, so I said it, and then my Instagram account was taken down for 3 months, and I was threatened for 3 months.
How did you say it? How did you expose it?
I went on a podcast, Sloan Hook's podcast.
Oh, you were on Sloan Hook's podcast. Said Kanye's addicted to nitrous.
Yeah. Because Sloan was like, why is he acting like this? And I was like, well, part of the reason is because he's become addicted to nitrous, and he's had brain damage and memory loss. And then a few days later, my Instagrams were shut down.
How did that happen? How did he have a connection to get your Instagram shut down?
Well, there was a documentary that'll probably be out about it because that guy's arrested now that took me down.
You know who took you down?
Oh, yeah. The guy told me while he was taking me down, it's me, bitch. He's texting me, and he thought I was Jewish. He was like, you dumb fucking Jew. I'm like, I'm actually not Jewish, but okay, even if okay.
But of course, it goes back to that.
I'm like, are you just trying to be like Kanye?
Yeah. And this person that took you down, is he in Kanye's inner circle?
No.
So why would he take you down?
He was friends with the dentist.
Oh, he was protecting the dentist.
Who knows? I can't say much about it because I'm still scared.
Yeah.
But
I would be too. But now the dentist is getting sued by Kanye.
Yeah, and I don't think that's going to work out great for Kanye because the dentist knows. I think they're going to end up eating each other alive because the dentist is going to say, well, Kanye did this, this, and that, to protect him. The dentist is going to probably try to expose Kanye. It's going to be a mess.
Where is this dentist still practicing here in LA?
I think.
I don't want to go to him.
I'm pretty sure the dentist is not happy that Kanye is suing him.
No, of course not. Now, what's the Harley Pasternak of it all? Do you believe in all of that?
That's another reason I don't report as much as I used to, because Harley showed up to my work a week after I made a video about him.
What do you mean?
I was working at a juice stand, and a week after I made a video deep diving into him, this is 3 years ago, way before anyone else talked about Harley. I was the first person to make a video about him, exposing his deep state connections to the Canadian Defense Government. And after I made the video, it went viral on TikTok. All of a sudden, Harley and his children were at my work trying to pretend they were buying juice. And I looked at him and I filmed it. I posted it. And I said, hi, Harley, how's Kanye? And he said, Kanye's mentally ill and I wish him well. And then he walked away with his kids.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I didn't fuck with Harley after that. There's people you just don't fuck with. And I know a lot of these online sleuths, they want to go there. That's great for them. I don't want to go there anymore. I've already experienced a lot last year.
Yeah.
But maybe if I vocalize it, I'll be fine. I mean, there's YouTubers at the trial with security.
Really?
Yeah, Tisa Tells has security every day.
Like people are standing outside of the courtroom,
They
waiting
have
for her to come out.
Yeah, she brings a big security guard with her to the courtroom every day.
In case what?
There's a lot of people that are fans that come to the court. Crazed
And
fan.
people get crazy. Does she
Yeah.
have a huge YouTube?
She has a big YouTube presence, like over 500K.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, it definitely gets scary out there. And look, I report on silly things, I think, but people get really intense even about silly things. And like now that I'm talking more about trials and Karen Reed and justice and innocence, people get really, really invested and mad. Like you get called names and people think that you're taking the side of, innocence versus death, and you're protecting like criminals versus, it gets really, really intense.
That's why I try to just stick with like the shallow news, like Diddy puts applesauce on his cheeseburgers, that kind of thing.
And nipples and come on nipples, no big deal.
No one's mad about that.
I mean, I am.
I did say people were hornier from the trial, and I thought I was going to get a lot of hate, and it was all positive comments, surprisingly.
So if you really want to get like the deep, dark, dirty, horrible details, who would you suggest also to follow for this trial? Like who are you following to get like some really, really horrible, crazy details? Is there anyone that you've met through the trial that is covering it also that you really love following?
I like Armand Wiggins because he's funny. I don't think anyone else is giving. We're all giving the same information.
Yeah.
But there's probably people that are more legal that people should follow.
Yeah, that have more of a legal expert background. You have a good, and that's why I like following you. I've always liked following you.
But Armand is like me too. He's like funny.
But Emilie, like I'm going to show you guys Emilie's Instagram. Like Emilie has a very, she has like a very, she's a comedic energy. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah,
is that what you?
I used to be I'm a comedian first.
Stop. Are you serious?
Yeah.
And you're friends with Matt Belinsky, who I went to high school with.
I would say Matt's a good follow.
How are you friends with Matt?
Met him I was on mushrooms at an RFK Jr. comedy show.
You met him on mushrooms at a comedy show?
Yeah, for RFK Jr.
Oh, that's hysterical.
And then I was like, do you want a podcast? And then we podcasted and argued the whole time. And it was so funny.
Oh my God. Yeah. I went to high school with him. I have funny stories about him.
I don't know if there's any funny ones on here. Let's see.
So if you follow Emilie, she's got really, really great videos. So tell me which ones I should watch right now.
Maybe you should click on like the Ray J one, because that's a pretty crazy. Ray J, everyone's posting that one.
Who is this guy?
I mean, this one's just good tea. It's about Ray J was named as a drug dealer, and he's saying he killed Whitney Houston.
So who's the guy that you're talking to, though?
This guy is a YouTuber.
Okay.
That's at the trial.
Let's watch it.
Ray J was brought up in court today. They told Vanna, drug dealer Ray J. She said, I don't know if that's his name. It sounds like that singer, but I don't think it's him.
Yeah, when I heard that, as a matter of fact, I think everybody gasped when we heard
gasped.
That, because we still want justice for Whitney Houston. Ray J was Whitney Houston's gay best friend, selling her illegal substances, and it's alleged that he gave her a fatal cocktail because Clive Davis allegedly had an insurance policy on her. And obviously when these celebrities pass away, their music sell like crazy. And Whitney Houston was supposed to perform that night, and we know that her performance skills just went down the drain. So Ray J, the feds are watching you.
But why did they say the drug dealer today was Ray J? Do you think it's the same guy? She's trying to say it's not, but you thought it was.
Absolutely. I believe it's Ray J, the singer. And if I had one wish, you need to come out the closet. That's what I wish. And I do believe it was that Ray J. What other person in Hollywood has the name Ray J? Nobody. It was him. You've been pushing the opioids and stuff over there in California.
So
you got Whitney Houston unalive because you knew she was susceptible to it, and he pushed that off on Cassie. I'm willing to bet that Diddy didn't get Cassie hooked. It was Ray J.
Woo! Wait, Ray J as in Kim K. Ray J?
Yes.
He's not gay. He said gay best friend.
That I know. He thinks that. So then Ray J posted my video yesterday and said, you guys all really believe this? And then he put out a statement bitching out this guy. It was like, fuck you. I'm going to move to another country because of this video. And then the neighborhood talk and everyone reposted it. And Ray J was like, it's a black man trying to tear down another black man. And now Ray J's really mad at Danette.
Actual Ray J is mad at this dude?
Yes. He posted this video on his page. And
Is Danette, this guy, a big YouTuber? He has a big audience?
He's like an up and coming YouTuber. Yeah.
So who's this? Diddy's godbrother tells, this is the homeless woman.
Yeah. That
Quote
was
unquote homeless woman.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a really funny one of her. Go down a little bit. I'll show you the one that you should show people. And keep going a little bit more. A little bit more. There's like the mom.
Oh my God, that's his mom?
Yeah, that's Diddy's mom. That's Charlucci.
What a trip.
Okay, click on the fight broke out in the courthouse today. It's
Okay.
Danette, the guy you just,
What'd you say?
it's the same guy you just saw fighting with the lady that got kicked out of the court. Here we
Okay.
go.
Did you do to
You out here
Mr.
to
G
get content,
Deal
man.
inside the courtroom
Look how
right
you
before
acting.
my
Why you
eyes?
acting like
And
that?
why did I have to get in your face like this and tell you to
Get
step
out
back
of
from
my
him?
face, bro.
Why
You
did I have
cannot
to
do that.
stand in front of Mr. Deal behind me and tell you to back up off of him?
Because
This is what I deal with every day.
I'm
And then
dying.
what happened?
Myself, yo.
But what happened?
That's for me to know.
But what did
Why
you
is you out
do?
here talking
So
about
why
that?
you not telling the truth? My name is
Because-
Candle.
look
I'm
how-
transparent.
But
I'm
look
true.
how you right here. I can't have the same
C-A-N-D-O-R.
energy with you, sweetheart. I can't.
But you didn't have the same energy with him when he came outside either.
When he came outside, he left,
Man,
yo.
get out of here.
He left.
Doing it right.
He left, yo. What are you
Doing it
talking?
right.
Am I supposed to be ignorant? Why did they let you here? You stink, bitch. Comb your hair. Your hair look like a bird nest. You look like a fucking pelican. You a loser. Lady,
What
please.
did
This
you
is the
do
shit I
to Mr.
capture
G
every
It's
day.
Real Housewives shit.
I capture the chaos outside the court.
Yeah, I love following it.
It's fun.
Is there any more that like we have to see?
Well, there was, but you can find the paid protesters one.
Yeah, let's find that. That's at the bottom, I remember. It's like kind of the beginning, right?
Oh
my God,
go
who's
to
this?
Barney calls out Myron.
Oh my God.
Is that why you're
I
angry?
think you're the one that looks like.
Is
a
that
monkey.
why you're angry? I don't give a
Fresh
fuck. I don't give a fuck. So I'm a monkey and then what? What the fuck you gonna do about it? I'm a monkey. Oh. What the
This-
fuck you gonna do?
That was
You
good
go on
impression.
there. Oh. Now
Girls
you
hate
do
this
it.
guy.
You're hungry.
That was a good impression.
Myron, you're hungry.
That was really good
He's
impression.
angry because he's hungry. Look at the hungry African. He's angry because he's hungry. He's Sudanese. They don't eat food.
Yo, this is content.
This nigga don't eat food.
This isn't even the
Nigga,
best part. I'm
nigga,
gonna put
you
my
need to
face
eat.
picture
Stop
on
being
my
so
Substack.
angry.
She
Okay.
takes her
Where's your
shirt
ugly?
off.
Where's your ugly black? Where's your ugly
You
girlfriend?
gotta put this monkey
How much?
back in the cage.
How much money?
You
How
gotta
much?
put this monkey
How
back
you're
in the
coming
cage.
with me?
Oh my God. People are unhinged out there.
Yeah. They
Okay, so
are.
this is the paid protesters one?
Go up. It's next to the Myron one.
Oh, right here. This one went crazy viral.
Yeah, that
Why
was
do you feel that way?
So these are all paid protesters. You can get $20 an hour if you wear a t-shirt.
You gotta speak up. You gotta
She
talk
just
loud.
got recruited, right?
I refuse.
You said no.
No.
It wasn't worth the 20.
No, but like he told me that it's for a Diddy coin, so I'm not really sure what that is.
I like this type of content more.
Yeah, they just tried to pay me $20 to wear a free fucking shirt.
Stop. I could tell because
The lady right there, she just kept convincing me to go wear a shirt, and I'm like, I'm good.
so just
This girl started getting attacked
You
too.
need $20. All you have to do is wear.
Look at these protesters. They're obviously fake.
They just stand out here.
And you said no.
Yeah, I said no.
Did they say how many hours?
$20 an hour. And she told me she got paid like $60 yesterday for standing out here in 3 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically,
Wow.
like I think my skill, like TMZ was like, Emily, you found your skill at the trial. Like you're great at like capturing the weirdos and like the craziness and like talking to the people. And their TMZ's like, I don't even want to be around that.
Oh my God.
So
it
it's like-
feels crazy.
Yeah, and I'm trying to show that, but people want me to be this legal expert. It's like I shouldn't even be on these podcasts. I'm not a legal expert. Like
I'm loving this side. I actually
like
more
this side
into
of
this.
it because it's more interesting.
I think it's actually funny.
Matt Belinsky is good for like when you'd want to talk about legal stuff. You should have him on.
Yeah, if I had Matt Belinsky on my show, do you know how much shit I would get in my comments?
Would they not like him?
I just think they would find him to be way too conservative.
Is your audience not?
I think my audience is pretty moderate
Oh, okay.
down the line.
I feel like if he just talked about the trial,
Does he cover the trial pretty strongly?
He just knows a lot about like racketeering and RICO and stuff. Like he can,
Okay, maybe I'll bring him on for that.
but he's also like very anti-conspiracy.
He's anti-conspiracy?
Yeah, he doesn't believe like anything with J-Lo or anything ever.
Oh, he
thinks
doesn't?
Everything's magical thinking.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually love what Matt Belinsky has turned into, especially because I don't want to talk too much about him on this, but because he was just like this annoying, like he would argue a lot in high school. He was just like an arguer.
He still argues.
Yeah. But now he's turned into like this big podcasting lawyer.
He's good at,
like,
he's good at
awesome.
arguing online. It's good to watch it. I like his Instagram like captions and stuff. Like
Yeah,
it's
he's
funny.
he's smart. He's very smart. Okay, so Emily, you guys, you have to follow Emily on Instagram.
Yeah, I'm not.
And on her
I'm not.
Substack.
You guys know more about the law than me, but I'm just here to like capture the. I'm trying to capture the culture of it all.
Yeah, no, I'm so into it. I'm so into it. So you guys follow Emily on Instagram because she doesn't only just cover Diddy. Right now she is, but she's been covering so many things over the years.
I'm gonna start. I'm getting bored with Diddy. I'm gonna be covering more stuff coming up.
What are you gonna do next? Do you know?
I might. I don't know. I might do the sex cult stuff that's coming up, but I think my other boss might be doing that, so I don't know if I should do it.
The sex cult?
Yeah, because I had a friend in the sex cult that was trying to recruit me years ago. So
What is the sex cult?
There was a sex cult on trial for like orgasmic meditation. It used to be popular in LA. You would go.
Diddy's jumping over to that one next.
Honestly, I feel like
jumping to the next one.
The orgasmic meditation shit is like weirder than the Diddy stuff.
Are you did you see, if you watch my stories today, I just posted about this Jared Leto. All these women are coming out now, like officially coming out that they have been completely like they were 12, 13, 16 when he was like going after them.
I would cover that.
Yeah,
I've
really
never liked Jared Leto.
He's disgusting.
He gives me a bad vibe. And he lives in that house on Laurel Canyon that was where that big government house where they think that they shot the moon landing video.
Which one?
He lives in that crazy house that used to be a government. He bought the craziest property on Laurel Canyon that was a government property.
Which house is it? Where is it?
I forgot what it's called. I did a whole podcast on it. It's I'll have to send it to you. It's like a CIA house.
I have to look where it is. I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm interested in the Jared Leto stuff.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm so interested. And then yeah.
You know what's sad? I didn't even know who Karen Reed was until yesterday.
Girl.
I keep seeing it and I'm like, oh, I'll watch it later because I have so much to catch up on.
Okay. So, I mean, I would tell you to watch the documentary, but it leaves out so much. But like one day you're going to have to deep dive. Most of my audience is being framed.
Okay.
It's really fucked.
It seems like framed.
It's really, there's just not enough evidence to say that she actually killed this guy with her car.
Really?
It just doesn't make sense.
So then why is she going to go to jail?
I mean, she's on trial for murder. So but the trial's wrapping up next week, and then they're
oh my god,
yeah, this is her retrial because there was a hung jury the last time. It's
I can't believe that, especially if she's innocent and has to go to jail.
It's really, really crazy, but the entire country is watching. Like it's when the live trial has on every channel that live streams it has over 50,000 on every channel has over 50,000 live watchers.
Yeah, maybe I might have picked the wrong trial to cover.
Well, it's just the fact is that Diddy's more salacious in that way, but Karen Reed is really interesting. Like there's just so many, like it's a movie. It's a movie.
People were saying to me, like, why are you doing Diddy? You're better than this. Like, this is shallow and you're smarter than this. And I was like, no, I'm not.
By the way, everyone says that you're so beautiful in the comments. Everyone says that you look just like Kristen Wiig, but like in a beautiful way.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm from the same hometown as her.
Really? Where are you from?
Like upstate New York, like Rochester, Buffalo area.
Oh my gosh. Well, you are beautiful and you're also an amazing writer. So where can they subscribe to you on Substack?
Substack. Yeah. I'm going to be writing all night. I just got to go. I got to go find my Apple computer charger.
All right,
So
you
I think I left
you
it-
go right. Follow Emily on Emily.
I'm gonna
Knows-
write inside a freak off.
Okay.
I'm gonna write about some drama outside the court, like reality, like Jerry Springer. I have all these videos I haven't posted yet. I'm saving them for Substack of like crazy drama.
Okay.
And then what was the other? I'm gonna write about the sex call, I think, tonight.
I mean, I'm all listen. You got me ready for sex tonight. Too bad my husband's out of town.
I'm gonna be honest. Me and my boyfriend were not having sex before the trial. Like for 5 years, we didn't have sex. 5.
What?
And after the trial, we're having sex. That's bad. I might pitch an article to Cosmo. Like
The Diddy trial like got my relationship back on track.
I know, but I can't because of the DV. I can't. But
No,
I
you can't.
Maybe I could though, because the Hollywood Reporter guy said Cosmo would pick that up.
Wait, I'm dead over this. Number one, I'm like a little bit stuck on the 5 years.
I had some weird blockage where I couldn't have sex with someone I knew well.
Did you go to therapy for this?
No, I just went to the Diddy trial.
This is the best thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
It's actually insane. Like my friends were like, "Wait, you had sex?" They can't believe it. They thought I thought I was never going to have sex ever again.
Oh
I
my
was
God.
Just like, well, he's a great guy. We just don't have sex, but everything else is good.
Did he have an issue with this?
He was mad always. But like
My husband would definitely end things.
my boyfriend's very patient, very patient. 5 years of patience. But yeah, I said to him the other day, like, isn't it crazy that we didn't have to go to therapy? I just had to go to Diddy.
Everyone's dying in the comments. They're dying. I'm laughing so hard. Oh my God. Jennifer says, did you at least give him head?
No, he got nothing. Just nagging. It was crazy.
Oh my God. You have the best boyfriend ever. Like what?
I know. I can't believe I was like, why did you stay? He's like, I just thought one day maybe you'd change. I don't know. It's really weird. It's very crazy. I'm not the only one either. There's other girls in the courtroom that said this has been refreshing their relationship. That's why I want to write an article.
Maybe it's not that Diddy is, and people can take this the wrong way and they could be like, oh my God, this is horrible. Like Diddy can't, it's not that Diddy's turning you on. It's just maybe that you're like, Diddy is the most disgusting human being. I want to have I'm so lucky to have my man at home. Maybe.
It is, maybe. That's a good way to put it.
Maybe you're like, oh, maybe there's like something kind of like it's awakening a little dirty side of you. Who knows? Don't judge.
Someone said I have a demon on me. So it was demon sex. I was like, all right, if you want to make it negative.
How many people are going to be like, what the hell is wrong with this girl, Emily?
People already think there's something wrong. There's obviously something wrong if I didn't hook up for like 5 years.
5 years, like that is well, you know who also never had sex was Ariana from Vanderpump Rules.
Really?
Yeah, before Scandival.
What'd she say?
She said that she literally couldn't have sex with her boyfriend and that's why he cheated on her. And then everyone villainized Tom Sandoval. But I'm like, but they weren't having sex.
I didn't know that part because I live next door to that restaurant, Tom's restaurant in LA.
Which one, Tom Tom? Schwartz and
Sandy's.
Sandy's. Well, it's no longer, it closed.
I wondered. But the sign's still up.
It really is. So you're over on that side. You're like
I live
on the
over
east side.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. That restaurant. Did you ever go?
Yeah, I did. He was there too. All the girls were trying to get photos with him.
Yeah. But he cheated on. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Your boyfriend, if he didn't cheat on you, he's a good guy.
I can't believe he didn't cheat.
What sign are you? People need to know.
I'm a Virgo and he's a Pisces.
I don't know what the fuck that means, but someone asked.
I think Pisces are very loyal. They're like Jesus was a Pisces, not a Capricorn, as you'd think, because the Christmas, his birthday, he's really a Pisces.
Jesus was a Pisces? Is that what you said? I thought Jesus was just a Jew. Okay, I didn't know he was also a Pisces.
Yeah, he's both.
He's a
Yeah,
Jewish
I don't
Pisces.
know. Do they think the Virgo makes sense? A lot of people think I'm a Gemini at this trial.
Oh my god. I'm a Gemini.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why we have good convos. I
Yeah,
love Geminis.
I think the fact that you can't see the comments, you forget that there's, hundreds of people watching this conversation, and that have you ever shared that you haven't had sex for 5 years?
Not on stage but not on a video. I would totally share it, but my mom will get mad.
Okay, where's your mom?
She's not watching. She won't watch. She can't figure out YouTube. I can't post it on Instagram because she got mad the other day that I said I had my period. She's like, no one wants to hear that. You need to start acting. You're like acting like Amy Schumer. You need to knock it off. And it's like, but people would love if I said this at the Diddy trial.
Oh my god. This is amazing. Is your mom here in LA or is she in New York?
She's in New York. She's upstate.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You have I like your approach. You're dry, you're sarcastic, but you're funny, but you're smart.
I didn't know the Rico. I still don't know the Rico. I've read so many articles. I just still can't remember. They're like, what is Diddy on trial for? I'm like, I know there's 5 things, and I'm like remembering 3 out of the 5. But I'm saying, there's so many dumbasses in the courtroom with me. Like, even like the mainstream media doesn't get it. Like, everyone's just dumb, I feel like, at this trial. I don't know why.
I mean, I did see the people outside the trial, and they don't look like the smartest.
They're inside the trial. Those people are inside the trial. They go in the courtroom. That lady was in the courtroom. That's why Diddy got such a kick out of it. Diddy was like, because he's like, where'd this lady come from? I think
Diddy's probably like entertained by his own trial.
Yeah, I think he is. And I also think he's sitting there thinking, I don't remember that. Damn. And then I'm also wondering, is he getting turned on hearing about this?
Guarantee it.
Because I'm always like, is there a boner? Because like he literally, these girls are saying things so nice. All these girls are so complimentary to him.
Oh my God, I'm sure. Even the girls that got like fucked over by him.
They're like, he's so charming. He was so sweet. That's what the Jane Doe said. He was so passionate. He brought passion out of me. And I'm like, Diddy's so happy that she's saying this shit. You can just tell.
Was Cassie ever complimentary?
Cassie said a lot of nice things. A lot.
So he still has a hold over these women.
There must be something. That's why I said yesterday, I don't know if I believe the Tootsie Roll allegations.
Who actually said Tootsie Roll?
Someone just filed a lawsuit and said it. I was like, if it was really a Tootsie Roll, why would they be so obsessed?
Oh my God.
Maybe it's just the power and the fame.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, I'm sure. And does he look like shit?
He just looks older with gray hair. And
he looks the same.
I asked his team why his hair was, I'm like, did he just get really old? And he's like, no, Emily, he's a black man that dyed his hair for like the last 10 years.
Oh, he always dyed his hair.
And I was like, oh, and he was like, yes, of course he was dyeing his hair. I'm like, oh, I thought he just was really stressed out in jail. They're like, no, he's dyeing it. So, and his team believes he's getting off.
Oh, he's getting off somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. They were like, he's a drug addict. He was a drug addict. He was a sex addict. So they're like, he just needs like a 12-step program.
I don't know if he's going to stay in jail for a long time if he does
He'll
stay
get
in
a
jail.
12 years or 12-step.
12 years or 12-step.
Yeah. Otherwise, I don't think he's going to jail for life.
No, it doesn't sound like it. Unless they pull out something crazy, but they won't.
They might.
But that's not how these trials don't work like that. They hint at things. They bring it out in opening statements.
Really?
Don't you think? This is not a movie where all of a sudden the last day of trial, they're like, and now I'm going to tell you the big thing.
Well, they said yesterday, this Jane Doe is the best witness we have. That's what they said. Biggest witness yet. They were like, Your Honor, please, we just need a little more time to prepare because we argue that our next witness is going to be the biggest witness yet.
Okay, well, that's not a good sign because all she did was drug traffic.
Well, so far, she still has 3 more days yet.
Okay, so I guess there could be more.
Yeah, but it's also like Dude, I know so many people that travel with drugs.
I mean, I've watched the movie with Claire Danes where she gets stuck in the Thailand jail.
Yeah,
Right?
I think because I'm a little toxic, I do feel a little empathy for Diddy because I'm like, I've partied with like horrible men that are just as bad as him and they're not like on trial. But they didn't like beat the shit out of people. I think the domestic violence stuff is the worst. And him scaring everybody is terrible.
That was the worst part of the entire thing is watching him beat the shit out of Cassie because
Beat
you
her
know
up.
that wasn't the only time.
And also scaring like the lady being like, get the fuck in the car. Like always making people feel on eggshells is terrible.
Horrible. No, he's an asshole. He's
Yeah.
a piece of shit. He's an asshole. And he probably does have a small penis because
He
that's
might.
those are the guys that act that way.
And they do, like, a lot of girls do get hung up on those Tootsie Roll guys as long because they have to make up for it with the aura. You know? Yeah.
He had a lot of money. He had a lot of money. He had a lot of power. He had a lot of baby oil and all of those things, like, you know, and the diptyque candles are not cheap. And so, like,
I know. I'm surprised that was the candle he liked. Like, that's a good
those things are
candle.
very expensive.
Right. And he was cheap, kind of.
Was he?
The girl that said that he raped her said she was only making like $50K, I think. And had to be on call 24/7 or like all, and she would like, one time she like had to go to the hospital, I think, because she passed out because he was overworking her for $50K. And then all these people don't feel bad for the victims because they're like, well, you could have gotten another job. And it's like, well, the music industry is very hard to get a job in. It's very hard to get a job.
Yeah.
So it's not just easy. So I understand why people put up with the abuse because you think like this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I feel like there's a lot of people that don't have empathy for these victims because they think like they don't care. They're just like, they don't get it. They're like, why didn't you just quit? But it's
no, I have empathy for the victims. I definitely have empathy for the victims, and I definitely don't have empathy for Diddy. I mean, I want to be very clear. I think he's a horrible piece of shit. I just don't know if he is going to rot in
feel
jail.
bad. I just feel bad I always feel bad for people that like have to go to jail. Like I'm like, I hate the death penalty.
I don't.
I hate the death penalty.
Depends on who.
Yeah, but then today I was threatened again by someone on Kanye's team. And it reminded me of how I felt as a victim. And it like reminded me of like why it's so bad what Diddy's doing.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like you hate the idea of going to jail because you don't deserve to be in jail.
I just
But
like,
if
it's
you're
so
a piece
scary.
of shit that beats people, or
if he doesn't stop, he needs to go.
yeah, I mean, if you're beating people and you're hurting people and you're threatening people or you're killing people or you're you know drugging people and raping people and all these things, you deserve prison time.
He's
like that's
probably
it.
he's probably not gonna walk.
He can't.
Right? He's gonna
He has to go to prison for something. He can't just go. He can't just walk free after this.
Yeah.
But I just don't know if it's going to be as bad as what we all assumed it was. I thought he would never see the light of day again.
Me too.
That's what they were kind of making us.
I thought
Every hour was a new
like
victim.
100 people.
Yeah.
I mean, all these other civil lawsuits, I don't know what's going to happen with those. Like you said, the guys, like there's someone just filed one the other day, like a male escort filed one against him. Like there's more and more. So
it's very confusing.
We can get together on another later on in the trial and give an update.
Let's do another one because you're fucking hysterical. Okay, Emily, everyone go follow Emily at Emily Knows Everything on Instagram. Subscribe to her Substack. Support her in her trial endeavors, and you know, help her out so that she can get a fancy hotel room with her boyfriend so they can have a night, a sexy night out.
Where I'm staying, like I can't have sex at someone else's house. It's bad.
You got to get a hotel room. But now now you can never go into a hotel room again, knowing what happens there.
Yeah, I'm going to have to order a lot of linens.
They're going to be like, Diddy, no.
It's so crazy. And I wondered if there's like a conspiracy with Johnson & Johnson. They just keep mentioning the baby oil. I'm like, why are we mentioning it every moment of this trial? We get it. He liked baby oil, but that is not a crime. That's just like weird. And it's not even a great lubricant.
It's so weird. Oh my God. That is so crazy. I have no
Thank
idea.
you for having me on.
You're
Anyone that-
adorable.
yeah.
You guys, thank you for subscribing. Sorry for the crazy tangents, but it was such a fun conversation. It's like hanging out with. All we were missing was a martini. Like next time,
It
let's
was
do this
this
over
is a
drinks.
Saturday podcast.
It was a perfect Saturday podcast.
Yeah.
Will you, when you come back to LA, can we actually go out?
Oh, do you live in LA?
I'm in Sherman Oaks.
Oh, yeah, you're right down the street. I'm right by Schwartz and Sandy's.
I know, that's right. I mean, I'm literally born and raised here. Hello, I went to high school with Matt.
Oh, yeah. So do you know Jonna Cavello?
No.
Oh, she didn't go to high school with him. I'm in a group chat with Matt and all the guys from his high school.
Stop. Really?
I'm the only girl in the chat. They're all Jewish guys.
Those are the boys.
All the girls left because they were all pro-Palestine, and then I was the only girl that stayed in the chat.
I love you.
I just don't know much about the conflict. The same way I don't know much about the RICO.
Just don't say free Palestine to them. That's all you have to do.
No, Matt Belinsky would tear their heads off. So they.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it. You tell him I say hi.
Okay, yeah, you should have him on if you want to do like a law one.
I will definitely. I'm going to ask him if he knows anything about Karen Reid.
I'm sure.
Okay, go have sex with your boyfriend.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Okay.